Doritos. Yeah,
Be good.
chocolate goddess. Ugh.
How this one's for you, just now that the first All-Star game in Chicago has come to a close, what's your overall opinion of first time hosting and the ways Chicago embraced the WNBA in this game?
You know, I just have finals feels all over again. I think the atmosphere was incredible.
The mics can still be heard on Zoom.
Ooh, okay.
Just not in the room.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think I have finals feels all over again. The atmosphere was incredible. You know, especially when Chicago Sky players were being announced. It just felt so amazing to be a part of something so special. Also, you know, we're a part of Sylvia and Sue's legacy here at being at their last All-Star game. So I think that the fans in the city really came out, and it was a great place for us to celebrate.
And just a quick follow-up, that moment in the second quarter, Candace got in your face, tried to lock you up, Sylvia dunked. What did Candace say to you when you guys would have an Illinois exchange?
I know what you like to do. I know what you like to do. Of course you do. So yeah, I'm gonna hear this for the rest of the year. So we're definitely gonna have to win a championship so we can forget about this part of the season.
First row to your left.
Thanks. Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. Kalia, when Commissioner Engelbert was in here before the game, she talked about the possibility of maybe playing an all-star game sometime in a city that doesn't yet have a WNBA. Yeah, well.
Philly? You said Philly? Philly sound like a good place?
Would you like to see it, and what would you like to see Philly do next in the expansion process?
I would definitely like to see my city do something. I think it would be a great place for women's basketball to really start. But also for All-Star, you know, it's a good city, great food, great people. So yeah.
Second row to your right.
Following up on what Candace said, I saw at halftime you gave her a look, like she was saying something to you. Did you feel the competition elevate as the game went on? And yeah, can you give us any more insight on what you and Candace were saying to each other?
It's funny because we have the moments where we're going at it, and then we came to each other, and I'm like, she's like, I don't like being across from you. I don't like this. I'm like, yeah, me either. So let's just let it be over, and then let's get back on the same side. So it was a good balance of and like, I miss you.
Jonquel, did you know late in the game how many points you had scored, that you and Kelsey were both getting close to a record for points? Or
the only way when I knew was when De'Erica came to me. She was like, "How many points you need for the record so I could stop you from getting it?" so that was the only time I knew I really was. I mean, I saw the points, but I didn't know it was close to a record.
Lila Bromberg for current JJ. Kind of going off of that, what was your approach with those 4-point shots?
Yeah, just I practiced them starting yesterday, and then I shot a lot in the warm-ups. So you know, I felt comfortable and confident shooting them. So yeah, that's all I was thinking about, was just getting them up.
Oh, that's me.
That's you, girl.
That was me. That was me.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Congratulations, Kelsey, on winning the All-Star MVP award. Just being out there in this atmosphere, what was that like for you? And Asia, the same with you. What was it like being in that atmosphere and hearing that crowd and being able to expand the league and bring some visual to the league?
It was a lot of fun. I think that was the whole, kind of point. This is for the fans, and this is to, reach and expose people that maybe haven't seen the W. And I mean, what a way to send off Sil and Sue. I think for me, I just personally wanted to go out and have a ton of fun. Shots started to fall, so obviously it's really fun when that happens too. But regardless of that, I was just gonna play and have a ton of joy out there.
Kelsey, you play with a talented front court in Las Vegas, but today, played with two legends in Candace and Sylvia. Yeah. What was it like getting assists from them all game?
I mean, as a kid, as a kid in a candy store, I'm just having fun running. I could have just run up and down the whole time and I would have been content. That's kind of what my mentality was going into the game. And, this is like, they do this every year. So for them, this is just like another time. And, for me, I'm over here asking questions. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where to go. I don't know what time anything happens at. I don't know if it's required or not required, So I just think I was picking people's brains this weekend. But, Candace and Sil, they just been phenomenal mentors and female leaders. And as a young player, you can't ask for anything more.
Anything specific those two provided you as far as advice goes?
Candace just told me she was just going to run and drop it off to me and just pull it. That's pretty much what she said. And Sil, Sil was just telling me to run. So that's what I tried to do.
I'm not using it anyway.
Oh, all right.
Oh, got it.
Asia, when Sylvia went up and slammed at home that dunk, what was your reaction? And were you telling anything to Candace about following up with one of her own?
I was shook. I'm not even gonna lie. I was shook because I was so focused on us trapping Jackie so she didn't score. When Sil got the steal in the breakaway, I was like, oh my God, no way. And when she did it, wow. It was crazy. Like, Sil could have walked off the court at that point and I would have been happy. But yeah, we tried to get Candace in the locker room, but she was not feeling it. So maybe next year.
Kelsey, did you know that you were getting close to breaking the record for point scoring or like wanted to hit more or anything?
No, I had no idea. I just I wanted to hit one on the end on John Quell. So when I got the switch, I was like licking my chops. I was like, yep, this is what I wanted right here. Because I missed a couple before that. So I was like, man, it's one thing to score, but I'm trying to have good percentages. So when I missed a couple, I'm like, KP, you cannot let this be the downfall. You know what I mean? Just go out bricking. So especially last.
You did that last night.
Yeah, especially if anyone saw yesterday, I had to redeem myself. I'm not a rack shooter. You know what I mean? I'm more of a game shooter. So I'm glad that it worked out.
Me too, Fran.
Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports. Asia, when you guys came out with Brittney's jersey on after halftime, what kind of statement did you guys want that to make, and how important was it to have this kind of platform? National TV. Obviously, she's being talked about a lot this weekend, even though she's not here.
Yeah, like we say, we're the most unified league in the world, honestly. And I think wearing the jerseys was a statement to show that we are BG. Like, yes, we have the shirts and the pins, but BG is one of us. She's our sister. And at the end of the day, we're going to do whatever we can to amplify the platform that we have to make sure that everyone is doing what they need to do to make sure that she gets home safely. And it's hard. It's hard for all of us. It's not easy. Not a day goes by that I'm not thinking about Brittney Griner. And so wearing her jersey and letting the world know that we're not whole without her, I think that's a statement in itself. And when we're playing on the ABCs and the ESPN, showing them that it's real and understanding that we're not going to stop until everyone understands how serious this really is. So at the end of the day, always praying for BG. That's our girl. And we're just praying that she gets home safely.
Asia, how would you assess Kelsey's performance? You did pick her 3 overall. Did she live up to the standard you were hoping for?
Yeah. I picked you 3. Yeah, kinda. No, I am so proud of KP. Like, I was saying that before we went to starting lineups. Like, this girl here, she works so hard, countless nights in the gym. And for me to be able to draft her and to say that she's my teammate, it's truly amazing. This gives me no surprise. When she stunk it up yesterday, I just knew it was about time that she was going to let loose. So I'm so proud that she has this accomplishment. But just this is KP. Like, this is KP. She's worked hard for this. This doesn't come by surprise. So proud of you, girl. I talk crazy about her, but I'm proud of her.
It seems like you were all taking De'Erica's Twitter and poking some fun. What was going on there?
Woo! Yeah, Dee was thinking it up today too, but it's okay. She redeemed herself as well. But we're always going. That's us. As Aces teammates, is who we are. We just love to have fun. We're each other's sisters. We get on each other's nerves, but at the end of the day, we have each other's backs.
Team Balen Beyond the W.com. Once again, congratulations, and especially congratulations, Kelsey. You know, this had to be a watershed moment for you to a certain extent, especially given, you know, when you was first drafted into the league, you kind of had some, you know, growing pains. It has to be, you know, just mention how great is it, you know, to get to this point, especially given those early season struggles you had.
Yeah, honestly, I think something like this, I used to validate how good I was as a player. And I think that's one of the reasons that I've struggled in the past. You know, like you have highs and lows based on other people's opinions and quote unquote accomplishments or benchmarks. And so I think when I stopped identifying with that, I was just able to be free. And so, like, today's great. Don't get me wrong. MVP's great. Shooting is great. Winning is great. At the end of the day, like, I don't feel any type of better of a person or any higher of a value of a person than I did when I entered the gym, than when I'm leaving it. And so that is what I'm most proud of.
Last one for me for both of you, though. Y'all will be back here for the Commissioner's Cup in, I think, a couple weeks or a week and a half. And many have already pegged these two teams as final contenders. So what are you looking forward to about playing the Sky in that Commissioner's Cup and you know, potentially meeting them again in the finals?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, the bonus, the money. At the end of the day, like that we're competing for something that's like going into our pockets, and that's always good. You know, you're gonna get a good game out of it, but it's always a good game when we play Chicago. And like you said, people do have us as contenders, but just looking at the Commissioner Cup as a whole, I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm excited for it. Time to come back here and get some more buckets, girl.
We have 2 more questions. Next question from the back standing.
Mostly for Asia. There typically isn't a lot of defense played in All-Star games, so it was kind of refreshing to see you trapping Jackie Young all over the place. Did you come into the game was that already on your mind to do that, or did you want to get on her nerves, or?
Both.
We talked about
Yeah, like I saw, I was like, go get her. Come on, KP. Like we just literally just knew that we wanted to get the ball out of Jackie's hands. And she actually texted me during halftime and she said, yo, stop double teaming me. And I said, I got you. And then I didn't know that Sil was gonna go and trap her the next.
Still started doing it too.
So yeah, it was really just to get on her nerves. And she's very upset with me. I don't know why she's not upset with KP, but it's okay. I'll see you on the flight to New York.
That was actually my question too. You had the first hedge in All-Star game history.
I loved it. I loved it. Thank you.
We're gonna go 1, 2, 3 across the middle.
It's okay, we can embrace it. We're old.
Candace and Sil, first questions will come from your right.
Hi. You got the ball in the open court. Did you know you were gonna dunk, or when you got to the basket, did you just went up for it? Like, what was going through your mind in that moment?
I think I just heard the momentum of the crowd. I probably heard a couple of benches and seen a couple of faces on the other team, and I was like, just go for it. But it was just in a moment. I didn't really think about it.
And Candace, you guys all had a huge reaction. So yeah, watching it on the court, can you just tell us what you all were thinking?
I don't even remember who I was standing next to, but it was like they were like, uh-oh, she gonna do it. I'm like, no, we're old. And then right when I was like, oh, about to finish old, she threw it down. And I was like, well, now her nickname is Sylvia Tom Brady Fouls, because now she's gonna come back for another year, because you can't dunk and then not come back. Like,
absolutely not.
Okay.
Next question, second row to your right.
Candace, I know there's been a lot of focus on, rightfully so, Sil and Sue having this being their last All-Star game, but you did say at the beginning of the season that you were going into this season thinking about retirement after the season. Have you thought about it all?
Nope, she haven't thought about it. I answered the question for you. She's not thinking about it.
I'm not. I told you it's gonna be the off season when I know. When I go to lift my leg over that Peloton and it doesn't go up and I don't want to get on it, that's when I'm gonna, that's it. So no, I just really have been focusing on All-Star festivities, Sil and Sue and what they've meant to this game. Individually, for me, you always have to raise your game when you play with Sil, when you play against Sil, and we've been playing against each other for a long time. It's been crazy,
We got
but it's been amazing.
And one last follow-up. After Sil threw it down, was there any part of you that wanted to do it as well?
No, she did it for the both of us. She did it for all of us.
I was begging her in the locker room. I was like, "You have to do it." She was like, "I'm old." I'm like, "Yes, you can. You still can do it." She's faking us out. That's what it is.
Nick
Next question,
Hamilton,
row 2 in the
Nightcast
center.
Media.
Go ahead.
Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Congratulations to you both. Want to ask you both this question. Candace, what is the best advice you got from Sylvia? And Sylvia, what is the best advice you got from Candace?
So I'm a big do as they do and not as they say, because I think a lot of people say a lot of stuff. But Sil, man, she does it every single day. You know it's going to be a battle every time you play against her. So on offense, you know you're going to have to guard the duck in, and then you're going to have to turn around and guard the rebound because she's an amazing offensive rebounder. And then you're going to come down and you're going to have to, you know, make things difficult for her on the other side. And so I just, listen, I think it's just watching somebody, and that's all the advice I've gotten, just battling with her and watching her growth. And I mean, if you think about it, I'm sorry, I'm going off a tangent, but we're the 1 and 2 pick, and I don't think there's that much that's separate. I mean, like, think about it. Points, championships. I mean, like, it's been unbelievable to play against you for all these years. And so just honestly, the advice I've gotten is just watching her, because she really makes me like level up my game.
And it's the same. It's mutual. Candace is very finesse, very skilled. Nothing like something I ever seen in a post player. And she bring it every night. And I think people don't give her credit for that. Yes, she can win. Yes, she can score points. But it's how she lead too. She came from 2 different organizations, and she lead. And that's something that you can always respect about a play. And I love the way she carry herself as well. So that's the way I can say that she taught me.
Next question, second row to your left.
And congratulations and on another All-Star. You know, this one's for Sil. I know they had asked in the pregame, or not the pregame, but on Saturday about all-time All-Star moments. Generic question alert: where does that dunk rank, especially given that it's your last?
Outside of the dunk, I think Chicago did a really good job hosting All-Star Weekend. I mean, from beginning to end, it was nonstop festivities, and you haven't seen that in an All-Star Weekend in a long time. And so I would say this All-Star in general ranks by far one of the best ones I had throughout my 8 All-Stars. Yeah.
Next question, first row to your right.
USA Today. I'd like both of you to answer this. You all had talked about wanting to center BG throughout this weekend. Wondering how you think that went, and especially when you all came out for the second half wearing her jersey, knowing that's on national TV, what kind of message do you think, or do you hope that this sent, seeing that?
I mean, I think the WNBA has always done a great job of keeping what's important. I think, you know, obviously wearing the jersey is a small part, I think, in what we're all doing and what we're trying to do, which is bring her home. You know, her wife's sitting courtside, and it's just, I can't even imagine, you know, what her family and what she's going through. So I think the entire weekend has been centered around how can we amplify our voices and get her back as soon as possible.
Right. I think it speaks volume and what we can do as a unit. We're not out here trying to do it by ourselves, and we know when we stick together as a group. And I say this all the time, you know, when women get their mind set on something, we're going to always achieve what we need to get done because we're just that stubborn. And I think the message this weekend is just making sure that everybody is aware of what's going on, but at the same time that we still have a lot of work to get done to try to get BG back home.
Next question, third row to your left.
It has not made it harder. I mean, you know, when you have your mind set up, you know. And so I think I appreciate the love that I'm getting, which is kind of weird because I always shy away from it. But it's been comforting knowing that people do appreciate the things that I've done throughout my last 15 years in this league. And I'm looking forward to doing things with the WNBA when I'm done. Y'all not gonna get rid of me that fast.
Next question in the last row center.
Cheryl Reed's holding her back. I'm telling you, Minnesota needs you.
Well, you know, she actually gave me green light.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Sylvia's holding her because Sylvia just golly.
No.
That was the play, by the way. Sorry. That was the play.
Yes. And they've been hyping me the whole time. And so I just was hoping that it went in because it was the first shot of the game. But I mean, getting out your comfort zone a little bit, having fun, I think that's what's most important about this weekend.
Next question, we're going to go to Zoom. Christos, if you would please. Christos, go ahead.
Hello, ladies. Congratulations, first of all. I would like to ask you, Candace, how special for you was this All-Star game in Chicago, sharing the court with Seal in her last All-Star game? And for you, Seal, how many more dunks can we expect from you until the end of the season?
I can't answer that question, love. I really don't know.
I'll answer it. 5.
Oh,
You're going to give us
Lord.
5 more dunks.
Oh, Lord.
And for me, just playing alongside Sil has been amazing. Sharing the court with her and being able to, you know, give her flowers and be able to celebrate alongside her. So it's been an amazing, fun weekend, from practice to the festivities to now actually playing in the All-Star game. So I think Chicago did a good job of showing Sil how much we love her and appreciate for what she's done for our game.
One more on Zoom. Gabriella, go ahead, please. Gabriella.
Hi, this is for both of you. I was just hoping you could talk a little bit about the young talent that you've got to play alongside this weekend, particularly in the many first-time All-Stars, as well as also, you know, folks like Ryan Howard, who are just a year into the league. What's it like playing alongside them, their game? Tell me more.
It's fun. I mean, I like it. I think I'm getting out at the right time because they running too much. They jumping higher. They got too much energy, and that's definitely not something I'm trying to do at year 15. But to see these girls and flourish and think about what they're going to be like in the next couple of years, I think it's going to be amazing. They're going to do really good things for our league. I just hope to see everybody flourish in their own way.
Ryan is
beast.
Yeah. Becky and I were talking about Ryan Howard and just how she's just different. Like the way she moves, the way she pulls up. Like I know there's little things that maybe the fans don't see, but like us players see, like the spin she puts on the ball when she's laying it up. Like she's different. I hope she's not different against us on Tuesday though.
All right, Candace, Sylvia, thank you.
Thank you.
To our media, we'll have Breanna and Sue momentarily. Welcome, Breanna, Sue, and we're going to begin right away with questions. We're going to start in the front row center.
Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. There's a question for both of you, for Sue and Breanna. Sue, obviously this being your final All-Star game, what is the best advice that you've gotten over the course of your career? And Breanna, what were you able to tell Sue as far as advice goes, for you guys to be able to have that cohesiveness that you have on your respective team?
You mean advice for All-Star games?
All-Star games, just years
I'm like,
in the
there's really
league.
not much advice for All-Star games. It's like,
Years in
just
the
go
league.
out there and do what you do. Or actually, I mean, the WNBA will hate me for this, but it's like whatever time they say to be downstairs, add 15. Add 15 minutes. Sorry, Bonnie.
Breanna, what have you learned from Sue specifically that will enable you to move forward in your career?
I've learned a lot from Sue. I think that just the way she handles and prepares herself on and off the court, ultimate competitor, just a lot to take with as I continue on. And right now we just appreciate these moments that we have.
Next question to your right, second row.
James K, Chicago Tribune. Sue, what was that moment like on the court as you were checking out for the last time? Just Chicago erupting for you, and does it? And like, just a second question, like, has it hit you now that things are starting to come to a close?
That moment was really special. James actually came over to me at some point as the fourth quarter was starting, like, "Hey, do you want to go back in?" I was like, "Do what you need to do to win the game. Don't worry about me." But he was like, "No, like, let me put you back in. This way I can take you out." And I was like, "Oh, I see what you're doing here." So that was really considerate of him to think of me. And it was a really nice moment to share with the crowd, with the other players. As far as it sinking in, I mean, to be honest, I think the minute the words came out of my mouth, a couple weeks ago, I've really felt at peace with everything. There are definitely moments where I get a little emotional or sad because I know it's the end of something, but I'm also really excited to start my next life. So I'm just trying to enjoy it, soak it all in, all the cliches you can think of, and then we'll see what happens next. No problem.
Next question, third row center.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports. Sue, what is the significance behind coming out of the locker room together with those Griner shirts versus, say, starting the game with them?
Yeah, I mean, either way you look at it, we just wanted to make sure at some point that we were able to, on national television, obviously in front of a sold out crowd, put Brittney's name in the forefront. And that was our way of honoring her, our way of, hopefully at some point she sees a picture or something and letting her know that she is always, on our minds and on our hearts. But it's also a way to have other people, see her name. Maybe someone turned on the TV and doesn't know about the story and is like, "Oh, why are they all wearing the same jersey number?" And in those moments, it brings awareness. And what that does is it constantly reminds the Biden administration that we're supporting them, and whatever they need to do to get Brittney home, we're behind them.
Next question will come third row to your left.
Just to piggyback off of that, has all of the outpouring of support make retiring any more difficult? And do you have any plans to stick around with the W? And what do you think about next?
No, it doesn't make it more difficult. It's actually just a nice feeling. I just said this earlier. The word I'm landing on is maybe a little bit of closure, right? I think as an athlete, when you come to the end of your career, so much goes into the decision to actually retire. So the way people have reacted and these little moments I get both in Seattle and on the road, I know it's the right timing for me, but it gives it a little like, okay, this is gonna be all right. Like everyone's getting their moment too, that we can kind of share. And I don't know what's next. I mean, there's stuff planned, but we'll see.
To your right in the first row.
Nancy Armour, USA Today. Breanna, how did Ruby like her first All-Star game? And what was behind the thinking of having her sit on the bench with you?
I think Ruby loved her first All-Star game. She got one of those little balls, and that's been in her mouth since she got it. But no, All-Star game is a game to just have fun and celebrate, and I wanted to bring her on the bench because she's always a good vibe. She always makes everybody a little bit happier, and I think she wanted to crawl. She wanted to go on the court, but
She's a letter. I know. That was hilarious.
Next question will come from Zoom. Willie, go ahead. Willie Ramirez.
Thank you. Willie Ramirez from the Associated Press. For Sue, I got two questions, if I may. When you were here in Vegas, we talked a little bit about Kelsey Plum for a story I was working on. And I'm just curious because one of the things you had said is she's so hungry and you can always count on her going after it. You couldn't have been too surprised about her performance today. If you could just comment on how she sort of just went after it.
Yeah. So we were actually flying when the draft that Stewie and Asia did got aired. So I actually didn't see the draft live, but when I saw kind of the order, and I was like, "Dang, Stewie, you should have taken Plum." I was like, Plum needed to go first because you just knew Plum was going to come in this game and like you just said, be super hungry. That's just who she is, and I think she's in a great place physically, mentally. Things are starting to click for her, and she's the type of player. And I got to see this firsthand at Washington, at the University of Washington. When she has her confidence, it's really tough to stop her, and that's what you're seeing right now. Just a really confident player.
And lastly, 2 of the last 3 years have been very poignant in the dub, in the bubble with the Say Her Name campaign, and obviously right now with the message for Brittney Griner. How proud are you, number one, but also of sort of going out with such strong statements, going out in your career and with such strong statements for the W?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely sit here and talk about our league. I'm sure everyone in here has heard me speak about the fact that we learned that, strength in numbers is big for us in terms of the volume of our voice. When 144 players are, I guess, attacking the same issue at the same time, that's when we see results. But I think for me personally, what's been really amazing about the last couple of years is I think back on my career, and I definitely was part of a shut up and dribble generation where that's what we did. We didn't complain too much. We didn't talk about things too much because we were scared to, or it was kind of the vibe. We understood the vibe. It was like an unspoken vibe, but it was there. Even coming out as gay, that's like not something I would have done in the early part of my career because, oh, what does that mean? And so I'm just really proud for two reasons. One, that we have found our strength in our voice. And I'm just proud that I got to be a part of a small part of it at the end of my career.
Next question to your left, second row.
Akeem Balaam, BeyondTheW.com. Someone, one for Sue and one for Stewie. Someone had asked Sylvia about her post-career plans. I was just wondering, what's your post-career plans, especially with this being your last All-Star? And for Stewie, is this kind of a moment in your career where you're sort of thinking, okay, advancing into a post-Sue career as far as really being a standard bearer for the W?
She's already doing that. For me, I kind of brush by the last question. I can't imagine I'm not involved in the world of basketball, specifically the WNBA. I don't know exactly what that looks like yet, but I can't imagine that I'm not. I do have other things that I've already started to do, whether it's working with together and being more involved. The Peyton's Places is I'll be doing a version of that, the basketball side of it. So there's little things that are on my schedule, and it's kind of, I think, gonna work out great because I'll have something to look forward to, but also time to myself to maybe detox a little bit and to maybe think about what I actually want to do in, what will be my next life.
I'm not really looking forward to thinking about post-Sue career. I feel like maybe I'm just trying to convince her to come back again. I'll just keep trying. We'll see what happens. But no, I think
if you chant right now. No, I'm kidding.
One more year. No, I mean, everything that Sue has done, I will just try and continue that and carry it on. The way she has continued to elevate and uplift our sport, always striving for more and to be better. Those are the main things. Obviously, the skill speaks for itself, but to make this league better for the next generation and the next generation, like she did for us.
All right, we have time for two more questions. One by Zoom. Gabriella, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to ask a little bit about the union, the WNBPA, and how that's affected the We Are BG campaign. And both of you guys are in leadership positions there. I was just wondering if you could speak a little bit about the strength of the union over these past couple months in getting BG home.
I mean, I think ever since really everybody found out about BG being wrongfully detained, the union was there to step right in and be a major facilitator for us to use our platform, use our voice, do as much as we can, make sure the petition is out there, and at the same time send a strong message. I think that they're the ones that are coordinating with most of us, whether it's the t-shirts or the QR code or the like I said, the petition. And we're all in this fight together to bring her home. And I think that when you have, like Sue said earlier, those strength in numbers, it makes a bigger splash, and we get attention, and we're getting people's attention, and we need to continue to ask President Biden and the White House to bring her home.
And our last question in the back standing.
Hi, Sue. Stephen Gardner from Nuts and Bolts. So you're one of the best point guards in general to grace the hardwood, and kind of being around so many other talents in All-Star Weekend. Can you name some of the other younger guards that either catch your eye for something specific or just whose game you appreciate, as well?
Yeah, I mean, where to begin? I think today's game showcased a lot of the talent at the guard spot. on our roster, one of my favorite players in the league is Enrique. I've said that before. I think she's just so exciting. There's so much potential there, and she's really just getting started in a lot of ways. Then you take a player like Plum, Sabrina. They, what I like about their stories is I don't think the starts of their career, totally different starts, but they didn't start the way they wanted to, but yet they found ways to improve, found ways to turn it around. And I think that's that's one of the hardest things to do, right? When things aren't going your way, but you find a way to turn it around. So I've been so impressed with those two players. Kalia Copper is so exciting to watch. I mean, literally, you could go down all the guards. Ryan Howard obviously has an amazing future. Again, the best part about all of these players is they're like 26 and younger. And I can tell you now, like, you should it's only going to get better. You're only going to get smarter. You're only going to get, more skilled. You're going to work on things. So when they enter their prime, which you can argue is probably 28 and up, they're going to be even that much more exciting to watch. So I keep saying this, but I'm looking forward to being a fan because I will have played against these players and I'll kind of understand what it is, but I'll also get to watch them grow and see how they succeed.
Breanna, Sue, thank you. To our
Thank
media,
you.
thank you everybody for being here.